Folks, these crazies they're getting wilder by the minute. Madam Secretary. The African heat might be getting to Hillary Clinton. She blew a gasket when she was asked about Bill Clinton down in the Congo. I'll show you what really got her really riled up, and I'll tell you what I thought of that tantrum. You're guilty of pandering, misinformed, cowardly psycho talk. And coming up, the two sides of Hillary Clinton are on display in Africa. 1 minute, she's dancing with the locals, having a grand old time. The next time, she's selling a college student in the Congo, telling him off. We're not doing that.
How cynical.
All right, stay with us. We got more coming up. Stick around.
True.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton kind of flips her lid over a question about Bill Clinton. I'll tell you why her short fuse had me worried for a number of years. That's next on The Ed Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Ed Show. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had, basically, she's had enough of the world's obsession with her husband, and she's making it clear that she's now the top diplomat in the Clinton family. At a town hall event in the Congo, she lost her normally unflappable composure when a student asked what Mr. Clinton thought about an international financial issue. Listen to Clinton's response here.
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks?
This was in the Congo, Secretary Clinton snapping at a college student whose question was mistranslated to say, what does your husband think, instead of what does the president think?
What does Mr. Clinton think, through the mouth of Mrs. Clinton?
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks? My husband is not the Secretary of State. I am.
She lost her normally unflappable composure when a student asked what Mr. Clinton thought about an international financial issue. Listen to Clinton's response here.
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks? My husband is not the Secretary of State. I am. So you ask my opinion, I will tell you my opinion. I'm not going to be channeling my husband.
The student said after the event that he meant to say Mr. Obama, not Clinton. But the damage was already done. Let's bring back our panel on this one tonight. Jamal Simmons, Bill Preston, Tom Tancredo. Bill, let me ask you, do you think maybe Hillary was a little upset that Bill was in Vegas celebrating number 63 with the boys, and she was in the heat of the battle in the Congo? What do you make of her tepid response there?
You know, I have to tell you, Ed, I know we're going to disagree on this, but look, we criticize our elected officials sometimes for not being human beings, and when they prove that they are a human being, then we criticize them because they make a mistake. She could have handled it better, but I thought it was a very refreshingly honest moment. You know, you would never ask a man that same question, and it was her way of saying, damn it, I'm here, I'm in charge, deal with me, I don't care what Bill thinks.
All right, Jamal, your thoughts on this? I mean, did she just have a rough day at the office, or what was that?
You know, she's been on the road for a lot of days. I'm sure there hasn't been a lot of sleep. And, you know, Ed, I'm sure you've probably been intemperate on your radio show or on this show before. I know I have. I'll cop to it. So, you know, sometimes people make mistakes, and you got to give them a chance to, you know, make that mistake and keep moving.
But
I'll tell you, the person I felt really sorry for, though, was probably whoever was staffing her on that trip, because I can imagine standing there watching this happen in slow motion, knowing this is going to be the news for the next 24 hours.
But I think that could there be, Tom Tancredo, a little envy here. Bill Clinton goes over to North Korea. He actually does the job of the Secretary of State. And what do you think? A little tension here?
That is the first thing I thought of. It seemed like somebody. Said, "Will the real Hillary Clinton please stand up?" and she responded. And that is the real Hillary Clinton we're looking at, perhaps. I mean, this is America's top diplomat, right? Wasn't being very diplomatic in that case. Lost her cool. I wonder what could happen under other circumstances. But that is the first thing I thought about when I heard this thing. I had not seen it, but I've heard that play over and over again, and that's what I thought is, you know what? This is a reaction to Bill's getting all that attention by going over there to North Korea, and you know, there's a little It did not go over well at home, I don't think.
You know, Ed, the good news is that the Democratic Secretary of State got in trouble for being too honest, not got in trouble for telling people there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and sending us on a war for a couple of years. So if that's the choice, I'll take it.
I get your point. Jamal Simmons, Bill Press, Tom Tancredo, thanks for joining us tonight.
Look, you know, I think all of this, we look at the Clintons through, I think, a funhouse mirror. Anything they do, anything they say is interpreted, parsed, pulled apart to take on some. Well, I'm getting to that point, and I wrote a piece for our post-partisan blog yesterday that said, "You go Hillary." You know, for someone, she's in a country and on a continent that where generally male supremacy rules, and so she's asked a question by someone that's translated as asking, what does your husband think of this foreign policy situation? And she looks at him and says, you know, ask me. I'm the Secretary of State. And so she's sending a message to the men and women in that room and in Africa that she will not be condescended to, and not as a woman and not as Secretary of State of the United States of America. I thought she did absolutely the right thing then, and when she found out that the translation was wrong, she went over to the questioner, shook his hand, and they had a little bit of a conversation, hearty smile. She did exactly the right thing. And so, yes, I agree with Dave. I agree that, yeah, there's sexism involved here.
We all want an America defined by deep and meaningful equality, from civil rights to labor rights, from women's rights to gay rights, from ending discrimination. There are no acceptable limits, and there are no acceptable prejudices in the 21st century in our country.
We have a common task and a common challenge.
Why can't we see that we are all in this together?
18 million of you from all walks of life. Women and men, young and old, Latino and Asian, African American and Caucasian, rich, poor and middle class, gay and straight, you have stood with me. And I will continue to stand strong with you every time, every place, and every way that I can. The dreams we share are worth fighting for.